Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Few with You. Today's video is just going to be covering the limitations when you do make the decision to work in an environment like a Wix, Weebly, Squarespace, etc. I've covered this in prior videos. If you're not familiar with it, when you're starting a website, you're going to see a plethora of online tools that kind of sell themselves as easy web builders, free web builders. And I've kind of hinted on some of those, once again, those being Weebly, Wix, Squarespace, etc. Now, they sell themselves as being kind of like free and easy, but then once you want to have your own domain or get rid of their ads, you'll notice that they start charging you kind of a fee, whether it's yearly and or monthly, and then they give you that environment. Well, they're great. I actually use them a lot for people that have aggressive budgets or don't have a long-term goal. They're just trying to do something, see if it works and stick. They're great for that reason. But if you're one of these businesses or individuals that have a long-term goal and want to build value with your business and know that you're going to be doing this for a long time, then it is definitely not in your best interest to build your website in one of these environments, and I'll show you why. Today's topic matter, we're going to use this website called Flagler Ocean Art Gallery.com. They're a local business based out of here, and they were just an easy pick for me to show because I know that they're using Weebly, and I also know that there's some issues with it from a mobile environment. So first and foremost, this is a prime example of someone that, this time next year, this time a few years from now, or even this time next month, they may want to add something to the site, change something, and they may be limited because Weebly doesn't offer that. Now, there are a lot of people out there, developers and agencies and individuals that would take your time and money and say, oh, well, we can do it and we can change it and add it. But it's very important to note that me as a contractor related to web, the first thing I'm going to ask you is, what platform are you on? If you don't know, send me your URL, I'll let you know. And I'd be the first one to say to you, just like it would be in normal, in a normal environment. If you brought me a leased vehicle and you said, Chenzo, I want tinted windows and a bigger engine and a sound system, I'd be kind of a jerk to just let you invest that with me, knowing that it's a leased vehicle and you're going to be bringing it back in the next 2 years. It's very much how these web platforms work. So an example of that is Weebly. They sell themselves. The platform is great. Once again, I'm not knocking Weebly as a platform. I'm knocking them as not a long-term investment. So as a site is built, and over time, they gains rankings, but organically, whether you care or not, it's going to happen. So Google will start to, catch that site with keywords and kind of like geographically out, things that are going to happen with the site. Well, anytime, at some point, it's almost, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. You're not going to probably want to pay this yearly fee or this monthly fee. Maybe they change their terms and conditions. Weebly sells out to another web portal and they say, hey, instead of $8 a month, it's now $700 a month. That's a little extreme, but you get my drift. When and if that time comes, you are now, the minute you stop paying this monthly rental fee, your site's gone. And yes, you can extract the content. Yes, you can extract the imagery, etc. But you now have to rebuild the entire site on another platform, and don't take my word for it, but those rankings are now in jeopardy of being lost. So all the traffic and rankings that Google's giving you over X amount of time are now going to be removed because Google doesn't like when a site goes down and then is rebuilt and the permalinks change, etc. That's a whole nother kit caboodle, but trust me, it's not where you want to be, and it happens all the time. Now, this is another issue in itself. Here's a site that I've taken and I've done the mobile friendly test. It's very simple. Go to Google, type in mobile friendly. It will populate this really neat tool. I copied and pasted the URL, and you'll notice that it's mobile friendly, but it also is indicating 2 issues with page resource errors. So what does that mean? Most of the time in a developer's world, we can go ahead and review the source code, get to the host, access the site via FTP, troubleshoot it, etc., etc. In this case, there's no back door. Weebly owns that host. Weebly owns the servers. There's nothing we can do as developers or contractors to get into that and fix this and rectify it. Now, we can submit a support ticket to Weebly, let them know that we have these issues, but the likelihood of them fixing it, slim to none, and them probably even getting in touch with you is a whole nother issue in itself. But once again, these are all kind of the burdens of when you invest in using a web portal or a web platform that you don't own. So let me close on this. Ultimately, here are the prices for Weebly. Now you'll notice there's two different environments. These are some basic websites. Of course, there's always a free environment, and then you're limited and they'll have ads, etc. But in this case, for this particular site, there is a cart. So we know for a fact that they're spending at least one of these, and most likely probably either pro or business, if not more. Now, they're paying this monthly fee, and a lot of you folks out there are. You're using these platforms and you just think it's normal to be paying this monthly fee that's not even towards marketing and a potential ROI. This is just your brick and mortar cost. Let me just inform you guys, and I do this to a lot of my clients, especially that are starting from scratch. This is just GoDaddy, and there's a lot of other people out here, businesses that offer it even less expensive, but here's GoDaddy, and here's what the average person does need, and that is this a month, usually get one website, 100 gigabytes of storage, etc. To show you how unbelievably affordable it is, here's one, a deluxe. It's unlimited websites, unmetered storage, unmetered bandwidth, all these other bells and whistles that you probably don't even need, but you get a free domain for the first year, site backup. I mean, this is great. So usually what I'm trying to inform people is that you can take this $4.99, multiply that by 12, and you're looking at $59.88 a year for your brick and mortar for running a website. Yes, there are development costs if you need a website built custom as far as with WordPress, etc. But you're going to end up saving it in the long term, and it's your portal, it's your baby. As the rankings grow over time, as the site gets more traffic, and if you ever went to go sell the business, the website becomes part of that value. That, hey, look at, I have a website that ranks for X amount of keywords, has X amount of traffic, has a shopping cart on there, and that's going to help with the overall value of your business. In this case, you've got a guy out here spending at least, let's just say at least $8 a month. So you take that, times that by 12, and you're looking at $96 a year for just the brick and mortar. And at some point, it's inevitable. It happens all the time. Weebly will not give you what you want to do. And someone's going to look at you dead in the face like I am today and say, look, man, we can't stay on Weebly. And now we're starting from scratch. And all those rankings, all the time and money and energy you've put into that current site is now gone. So hopefully, guys, this was helpful. Once again, you're going to hear me kind of hint on this over the next few years because I'm sure it's not going to change. I have people all the time come to me and they say, I want to add a shopping cart to my website, and they're on a Weebly, and I would say, why? Let's get you off of that. If that's what's time now it's time to invest, get you on a site that you own. But once again, I'm not knocking whatsoever these platforms. I use them all the time, Weebly, Wix, and Squarespace, for people that don't have long-term goals, that are like, hey, Chenzo, I'm starting a new business. I don't really know if this time next year it's even going to work. What's a nominal way of getting involved in the web game without long-term commitment, without, this major overhead? And I say, look, man, Wix is the best, Weebly, these things are really easy. They're pretty much built for you. So either way, I hope this was helpful, and I'll talk to you guys soon.